Alright now, y'all. Is it consistent? Is it me or am I consistent? Bro, I'm sick right now and I'm still consistent. Yes, I'm opening a bag of chips. And y'all gonna mind y'all business. Gas. Gas. Alright. Today we're gonna be reacting to some Tommy G. Inside of San Francisco open air drug market. Whew. Alright, I was struggling that. Y'all want to follow me? My Snapchat is gmoney2300. My Instagram is TTF__gang. TikTok TTF gang. Don't worry about the Twitter. YouTube TTF gang. I'm gonna get them changed soon. Sometime next week. This week or next week. Let's get straight into this. Hey, if you can, please like the video. If y'all want me to keep reacting, please like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel. I got some requests y'all asked me to do. Y'all asked me to do Lil 2G, Lil something. I got that coming up soon, very, very soon. It got copyright striked, so I gotta kind of edit it, or I don't know. I'm gonna try to re-upload it without my intro, because I had an intro made and it also had like some copyright stuff, so it might have just been that. So I'm gonna take that out and just upload it raw like I do normally. So let's get right into this video. We're not doing y'all ads. Next time you buy from the following brands, which one are you most likely to buy from? Let's go through this. I think I'm gonna go Pizza Hut. I can't eat Papa John's. I like Domino's too, but I'm not. Little Caesars got the little muffin pieces. Them joints is fire, but what happened? How are we already 24 seconds in?
Tenderloin neighborhood is at the heart of the narrative about the city. Drugs, homelessness, crime.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're in San Francisco. Nope.
I didn't know San Francisco was like that. I mean, like, I heard of like them stealing cars in San Francisco. I didn't know there was like crazy homelessness and like a lot of crime. I thought it was just like they stole, like, not even stole cars, like broke into your car.
Open air drug market of the Tenderloin. Here to show you the fentanyl crisis and what's going on. That's one of the things this place is famous for. Yasmin's on the first human ship, and right behind us someone is lighting a pipe or something.
San Francisco is home to a notoriously gritty neighborhood called the Tenderloin. It's a place where people regularly smoke fentanyl, commit robberies, and in public all in broad daylight. It's home to an open-air drug market.
That's when I was. I remember seeing that video. Man, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sick. But I'm still going to get a video out to y'all. Y'all better be proud of me, too. Try to drop a video every day.
One of America's hottest spots for fentanyl and homelessness. Shootings, murders, robberies, and assaults are reported frequently time and heavily in this area. It's sort of a wild west place where criminals run the streets, and it's gotten so bad that on March 14, 2024, citizens and businesses have abandoned the pursuit of the San Francisco. And I quote, residents are terrified to leave their homes and businesses are unable to work through staff.
There we go.
It's almost certain that you will encounter people smoking fentanyl and injecting it. It's not uncommon to see naked homeless guys taking their medication in front of you. And while you were
This sounds like Las Vegas. My first time in Vegas, I seen a nigga laying behind a generator stroking his shit. Oh my God. No, brother, no. And it was date like noon. I'm like, what? There's kids out here.
It's a scary and filthy place, and it's also a very sad place because you have thousands of people living in absolute misery and turmoil. People that could be accepted to protect them for some reason aren't. It's a huge problem with no end in sight. So the question is, what do you do about it? People on the right side of the political spectrum think the solution involves more police, tougher on crime, and moving the homelessness out of the area. But where do the people go? People on the left take what they view as more of a humanitarian. They look at drug addiction and illness. They see a health problem to invest in needles and pipes in the effort to prevent disease spreading, and also to provide housing and other resources. But today we should.
How do y'all feel about that? Which side do you lean more towards? Are you towards the right where you think there should be more police, or are you towards the left where you think you should feed them and it's an illness and build houses for them? What side would y'all consider yourself, or are you in the middle? I think I'm more in the middle because, yeah, these people might be sick and they're addicted to it, but at the same time, we still need more cops because people get high and they do stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know niggas that's only gangsters when they off of perks or when they off of certain type of drugs. So I think I'm more of a neutral to this. Like, I don't know which side to be on. Sorry.
Show you one of America's worst neighborhoods. We examine how the Tenderloin got to this point. We show you what happened here. We talk about what could be done to improve this. Let's hit the streets.
Quick announcement: we've restocked the hoodies.
Let's try this up a little more.
Got them in the black. Got them in the blue. They're jumping off the shelf. Get yours while supply lasts. TommyJMcGee.com. Thanks.
Now let's mute it. Yeah, but put down in the comments what side would you say you're more on.
It is November 15th, 2023 as we're filming this video, and we are in San Francisco to explore the Tenderloin, which is the open-air drug market.
Let's give you a little background on the history of the Tenderloin. This section of the city earned its name after the higher quality cut of meat, beef tenderloins. And this was because police officers in the early 1900s would be able to afford beef tenderloins because of all the bribes they accepted due to ignoring illicit activity in the area. The bribes really kicked in when California passed the Red Light Abatement Act in 1914. This meant that other areas got more heavily policed, and that due to the Tenderloin's reputation for lax policing, many of those criminals came to the Tenderloin to set up shop in the area. So law enforcement looking the other way has long been part of this neighborhood's history. This area is particularly diverse, and some of this is due to the migration that followed after the Vietnam War. A significant number of people came from Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia and moved to the area due to its affordability. Now, as far as housing goes in the Tenderloin, something notable is 25% of the housing stock is owned by nonprofits. This means a lot of the housing is halfway houses, homeless shelters, and recovery centers, and nonprofits do this in order to help the homeless community.
So the reason that there's a super high homeless market there, I guess we could say, is because of the Tenderloin, because they know they have a place to eat and have a place to stay, so they want to go here. Is that what I'm taking from this, or am I just high?
A 2022 report estimated that 3,800 homeless people call this place home on any given night. And part of the reason homeless people love places like San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Phoenix is simply because of the nice weather that allows them to be outside year-round. So to summarize, the Tenderloin's troublesome predicament is nothing new, and this place has been plagued by drugs and crime for over 100 years.
Arguably the human poo capital of America. They even apparently have an app here in San Francisco that tracks where human poo is so you don't step in it on the street.
14,597 calls about piles of poo.
Down by the Civic Center. It's pretty grim.
The Poo Patrol will have a staff of 6 and 2 trucks for a cost of about $750,000.
It's going to be an interesting week to film because Chinese leader Xi Jinping, among other Asian leaders, are in town meeting with Biden, Kamala Harris.
We filmed this episode in November of 2023. During this time, San Francisco is hosting the annual meeting for APEC, or the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. APEC promotes free trade and economic development among the nations that are members. And I can understand why the United States would want to clean up the streets to welcome our foreign guests to town, but here are 2 questions that come to mind. 1, as it is largely Chinese fentanyl flooding the San Francisco streets, should not Chinese leader Xi Jinping see the effects of his country's export? And 2, why is it that we can clean the streets up for foreign leaders, but we can't clean up the streets for the American taxpayer that lives there and funds the cleanup in the first place?
Facts.
It
I
appears that the
never understood that. I was watching the Freaknik documentary, and when the Olympics came is when they, I don't know, it was like a lot of things. Like when the Olympics came, they were stopping drugs, stopping all types of stuff. But then when it went away, it was like, bring the drugs back, bring this back. Not bring it back, but they didn't really give a fuck about it. They didn't want, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just like when you invite your homie over to the house, and your mama clean up the house. But mama, we ain't real. We didn't live like that. We had roaches. Not me personally, but you know what I'm saying? Like when your mama asks you to clean up the house before, your friend come over to impress them. But mama, we really don't live like that. Let them see how we really live. That's how it is when other people come, foreigners come to our country. the big ones, the ones in the politics. Hey, let's clean up this whole. Let's clean up the house. They about to be coming through. Clean up the house. That's what we like.
Tenderloin has been altered a little bit. It's gotten a little bit of a clean image so that dear leader Xi Jinping doesn't see how crazy it really is. But we're gonna give you a picture of what it's like in San Francisco's open air drug market, the Tenderloin. Let's begin.
This is the reason why I've canceled my doorbell.
No one give a fuck. Not none of us. I'm done.
Right now what you're seeing is a lot of handsome Asian gentlemen walking around San Francisco, and from what I'm gathering from locals, San Francisco did not look like this only a week ago. They kind of cleaned a lot up.
Trash are what some people in the Tenderloin have learned to live with day in and day out.
Well, over the week of September 22nd, city crews collected more than 36,000 pounds of it from the Tenderloin. That's more than 18 tons. And that's only what public works crews hauled away. It doesn't even include what was picked up by the CBD or Urban Alchemy. And it's just one average week. The trash never stops.
This guy looks like Secret Service. Holy shit, look, riot police. What is cooking up today, huh? I thought there was gonna be a video about fentanyl and homelessness and drug addiction, but it looks like it might be interspersed with a little bit more. Are we protected from bippers here?
Don't leave your valuables with you,
Okay.
because like they would entice them to break it. But then I'm here until 5:30.
Okay, and if you need help fighting them off, call us too, okay?
Okay.
San Francisco is famous for being one of the more lawless places in America, but
See,
because all the foreign leaders...
That's what I knew about. Like, I knew, like, they did the smash and grab. Like, poke your window, hop in your car, take all your valuables out and leave. But I didn't know it was like this.
are in town, so a pretty strong show of force. I don't know if it's going to be an entirely accurate picture of what it's like today, but look, as you can see, police and law enforcement and whatnot, these guys are zooted and booted and ready to rumble, so I'm guessing there's going to be some clashes today. We're going to go meet with some of our contacts, guys that can really show us what this thing's about. That's what this channel is about, getting inside access to places most people don't, so we can bring you the real, honest, raw truth. I have a feeling it's going to be a little harder today for people to sell fentanyl with all these law enforcement in town.
Actually, I would say it's easier because they're mostly focused on the the politicians that are there. That's the day I got my car piled up with 100 pounds of fat. Yo, they not worried about us. They worried about the people that's going into that building.
This way, go around. So something that I think is always interesting about when you find like homeless camps or really bad drug issues is that it's very close to high wealth areas. So we got our whole Raven, we got designer fashion. In the midst of this is extreme poverty. We're meeting our contact at this train station. We'll see you guys then. Is this where it normally goes down? Is right here? It's busy?
This is like the nice part of the Tenderloin. Once you go in there, that's where it's really at. I mean, you walk down here right now,
There's so many police and federal agents.
not only that, normally this is not like that, like this. It's really, really good. So where I'm from is about 10, 15 minutes south. But yes, I've been here, Bay Area, Stockton all my life.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
How you doing?
Please,
How you doing?
This my brother.
How you doing, brother?
We waiting on my cousin right now. All this Apex shit got it real crowded. He said he like 5 blocks away, but he's driving.
So is it not normally like this? I know there's like a million fags, a million police around here.
It's never like this. You pick like the exact week where
It's gonna be a little funky in the Tenderloin.
Yeah, for sure. I said we used to be out here doing our thing probably about 12, 15 years ago. But we was outside, but my cousin, he never left. So that's why when I seen your shit, I'm like, I know who to put Tommy G in contact with.
One thing I think that's a little funny is like when the Chinese leaders come to town, it's their fentanyl that's tearing up town.
Right.
But when they come, they gotta clean it up. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Right.
I think they should see some of the fentanyl.
They should.
We should show Xi Jinping a bag of fentanyl and be like, excuse me, sir, do you know where this came from?
For real. This is f***ing up our nation right now, man.
Are we officially in the Tenderloin right now?
Just across the street. Even right here, usually all you gonna see because nodding, leaning, everything. They got the Secret Service.
Have you guys heard of ISO?
What's ISO?
It's like stronger than fentanyl.
New shit now? What the
If you could speak directly to the
I heard about that, but if you take like 1 grain of that, you can die. But I heard it's like the same with fat. Like you take a grain of fat, you can die. Like, why keep making these drugs? I want to know why they make fentanyl. Like, it's pharmacists that make fentanyl. Why are you making it? What is it good for? And maybe it does help something. I just don't know. But I would love to watch a video of why fentanyl is even a thing.
Culture is crazy. From what I heard, at least, ain't it communism?
Yeah. What do you think about communism?
Just being from America, I don't think it's right. I don't think one person should have that much power.
We are in the BART, which is the subway or train system?
Bay Area Rapid Transportation.
What do you notice that's different about today compared to normal?
We are literally at one of the grossest, nastiest BART stations that I ever know.
San Francisco. And it's clean today. It's clean. So what do you think it is that when foreigners come to town, when presidents from other countries come to town, we can clean it up? Or when regular old Americans are here, hey, we're just going to make it a shithole. What do you think about that?
I think it's backwards. We need to run. Tommy G, a fighter too. He go pretty wrestler.
Wrestling, you just be,
you good at that shit?
Pretty good, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, okay.
We're gonna look into the fentanyl, the trank, and all the drugs that are hitting the city right now and give you an inside look. Let's go boots on the ground.
My bad. My bad if I ain't talking a lot. I'm really just watching the video. I mean, y'all watching it with me, but this is kind of wild. Like, I did not know San Francisco was like this. And I'm sick, so like.
There'll be a lot more of these right now.
So is this a rich area here?
Yes, it is. That's the cool part about it.
These high rises, condos and shit, it's hella expensive to live in.
And in the midst of that is literally a bed sheet with like poop and shit on it.
Yeah, blood. You pay $4,500 a month.
Brush this.
So what is it like running a shop, people stealing shit all the time, and homeless guys pooping in front of your store? I mean,
We've been here for some years though, so everybody respects us.
The homeless pooping, that's like inevitable down here. You're gonna see that every 5 feet type shit, you know what I mean?
So what struggles you face as a business owner in San Francisco?
Over here be booming, bro.
Yeah. Are you guys seeing the impact of fentanyl hit the streets?
Hell yeah, it's the worst shit ever.
Yeah.
That shit worse than heroin, all that shit, man. That shit turned everything into zombies out here.
Yeah.
Lady trying to trade some Ben & Jerry's ice cream for some fentanyl.
Trade some Ben & Jerry's ice cream. It was still frozen too.
Do you think she boosted that ice cream?
I don't know. Where is she?
When Olympics come to town, when leaders come to town, we try.
They said she was trying to trade some Ben & Jerry's ice cream for some fat. That's a decent deal, though. I'll take some Ben & Jerry's. But no, we need to get fentanyl out of America. There's way too many people dying off fat. Or just drugs in general. Like, leave it at, I say weed, shrooms, and liquor. Liquor ain't even that good either. I don't know. We need to, yeah. I wish there was a way.
Image to the world that everything's okay here, when really, it's not.
Very rare footage.
I ain't never seen this shit before.
Tell us about the area that we're in right now.
This is the Took Street.
What's it like here?
Like a lot of drugs, a lot of homeless people live down there. A lot of mental ill. I live here like almost 13 years.
Does it normally look like this?
No. Nighttime is bad. Because you got bars. The president is here today. That's why they clean everything.
This is a high crime area?
Yeah. 2 people got killed a month ago.
What happened?
It's the drugs. Each corner, they sell like fentanyl.
If we wanted to find fentanyl, how easy would it be to find around here?
It's easy. A lot of people are like Halloween every day. They dress up like a, female, guys with dress. You see half people be all naked.
You see naked people around here?
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, bro.
What kind of an adventure are you taking us on, and what are we gonna see?
I'm just basically gonna take you on a little quick extravaganza through the Tenderloin.
Okay.
Kind of sad, but you feel me?
We're gonna see Fetty Wap.
A lot of Fetty Wap concerts sold out. I'm gonna give you the flip side to both. Feel me? It's people out here actually working to actually save lives and shit.
I mean, I see a lot of people cleaning. I know there's a lot of treatment centers here.
Yeah, we got resources trying to get people jobs. We usually walk around with Narcan, and fentanyl testers for the people that like to take pills and smoke weed and shit just so we test it. That shit is becoming a big monster.
Where a lot of stuff is becoming laced.
A lot of stuff is laced.
And if someone's laced with fentanyl, that could be a very deadly mistake, right?
For sure.
You think you're gonna take a couple of puffs of weed, it's gonna be a nice day, and all of a sudden,
it's been going like that. Say like the past year or two after the pandemic.
So one thing to draw your attention to is the architecture in the area. So this is the anti-homeless architecture where they don't let people sit or sleep. What do you think about that?
That ain't stopping shit. Now they just putting up tents.
Homelessness is something that's much easier to get into than out of. I had a conversation with a professor from the University of Wisconsin that researched homelessness, and when it comes to breaking down why people become homeless, he said it's easiest to break it down like this. A third of the people are homeless due to drug addiction issues, a third are homeless due to mental illness, and a third are homeless because they were living paycheck to paycheck and one financial setback took them out. And really there's a lot of...
I can't lie to y'all, and this gonna sound fucked up when I say it though. Like, I can never, like, become homeless. Like, it's gonna sound fucked up, but nah, I ain't gonna say that. But I'm gonna get money regardless. I'm gonna do the worst of the worst to make sure I'm good. I'ma always have a job. Like, I work for a high up company now, but like, let's just say I get like the mental health people and then like the people who are stuck on drugs, but like some people are complacent. Like, you working at a job that's paying you $13 an hour, man. Like, I got people at my job right now who are complacent making $20 an hour, and I'm like, man, you gotta want more for yourself. Don't live paycheck to paycheck. Some people don't know no better either, so like, maybe I'm just yapping. Maybe we should just keep watching this video, but I promise you, I couldn't go homeless. Like, I'm gonna take your shit. I'm gonna take your shit if I ain't got it.
overlap between those two categories.
All right.
But let's dive more into the financial aspect. 44% of Americans are equipped to handle an emergency expense of $1,000 or more. So whether it be a car repair or a hospital bill, that's enough for many people to miss rent and begin a downward spiral to homelessness. What's more is a lot of the people that are homeless were dealt a bad hand from the beginning. One study of women living in temporary shelters found that 78% of them reported being the victim of childhood abuse. That's staggering. When you consider the following variables, a nationwide trend of rent and cost of living going up, inflation lowering purchase power, easy access to highly addictive drugs, in particular the fentanyl that's flooding across our southern border, high rates of mental illness, an all-time high of household debt, and relatively low amounts of savings. These conditions make for the perfect storm of homelessness.
It feels messed up though that you even have to design a city like that.
Right.
Part of me understands if I was a business owner, I don't want a bunch of homeless people in front of my business. But when you look at just a person that wants a place to sit,
right,
it's tough. There's a yin and yang to this problem.
If that wasn't right there,
that's human shit.
Yeah, that's human.
That's one of the things this place is famous for.
I don't want to see that.
Human shit. What can you tell us about the tenderloin? I'm from Milwaukee. I haven't seen anything like this before.
You know, the tenderloin is supposed to be like when you cut meat. They say the tenderloin is like the most precious part of a meat, right? When you're doing like the little Jewish cut thing or whatever. So this is like really the prime financial area. You know, you got the financial district down the street. There's money out here, really, is what it is. You get deep into the tenderloin, it's like with all this money out here, it ain't changing the poverty out here. It ain't no in betweens out here. Ain't no middle class. You either living dirt poor, or you living up, or you getting it up. It's pimping, hoeing, dope, dealing, killing. Out here, you know what I'm saying? Police don't give a f. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell. It seems like things are pretty out in the open. Like you don't have to really worry about it.
They don't give a.
Many people have been complaining that San Francisco is too soft on crime. So let's examine the policies that are in place in the city. Chesa Boudin, who served as DA from 2019 to 2022, ran on a progressive platform of decarceration and justice reform. One of the first policies he implemented as DA was the elimination of cash bail for certain offenders not deemed to be a public safety risk. Progressives argue that cash bail creates a two-tier justice system. If you don't have money for bail, you will be stuck sitting in a cell while a wealthier person is able to walk free. Furthermore, the issue is compounded as impoverished people are forced to work with public defenders who are underpaid and overworked. Conservatives push back against this because they believe this creates a revolving door system that the criminals are aware of. Not only do the criminals have no fear of consequence, but this also results in a demoralized police force that doesn't want to do their job if they know it won't have an impact. Let me know in the comments which ideology you'd prefer to have in charge in your city.
The only thing is, you see kids coming, respect kids. You see women and older people, respect them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, see somebody grandma coming, hey, put that shit away.
The Chinese leaders in town right now, and you know where all the fentanyl comes from?
China.
So what do you think about that?
It's all part of the government plan. They put Coke and Coca-Cola at one time. I mean, it's all population control. It's all part of the life that...
Was that a real thing? I've always heard of, like, they put Coke and Coca-Cola, but was that really a thing for real?
want to keep control. If they don't keep control of people, then one day they'll be overpopulated like China.
So you think the government is letting it in to try and take people out?
I think that the government is having no choice because China has the most power and has the most money when it comes to influencing other countries. I mean, we're America. We're a country that's supposed to be the land of the brave, but in reality, I mean, we're the land of the brave or the slaves. So I can't tell you the truth, man. China is a place that they've been dealing with America. They know how to infiltrate.
I wasn't off camera. My bad, y'all.
I think we got an enemy that we just finally got to meet our match. You know what I'm saying?
How much money do I need if I want to buy a hit of Fetty? How much money do I need?
Shit, I mean, I can't tell you all that. You better ask somebody that fella. If you look around the ground, you might find a sack, man. All I can say is, if you don't know what it is, you better ask somebody.
I'm doing this little documentary and shit. You know, I'm rapping shit now.
Yeah, I know that,
You
huh?
feel me?
What's up? What kind of documentary you got?
Feel me?
How you come up down here?
I come up down here from Oakland. I'm out here saving lives on the fentanyl shit and shit too. You feel me?
Okay, and over 620 people they got record is dying from that stuff.
I'm gonna give you some facts about that shit. This is my uncle, y'all. He gonna tell y'all a little bit more about what's going on.
What is it like sweeping through the streets right now?
It's not too good right now because, like I said, it's over. What they got record is over 620 people dying from fentanyl.
What do you think should be done?
They need to have more education for them. A long time ago, they used to have programs like CEDAR, which was a training program. Fentanyl is a problem of it, but what's the underneath of all the fentanyl? When I'm talking about the mental health, the homelessness. But you got the people like the mayor making skating rings. I mean, it's okay for them to skate, have a safe place to go to skate, but you build that thing costs $2 million, and you ain't got no place for these homeless and sick people to go. And this is a lifesaver. But some of them get mad when you finish this to them because they get high and they get away from all their problems, right? And that's another reason they.
I didn't even think about that. Like you think you saving me, but man, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get away from what my reality. You just brought me down from my high, boy. I'm trying not to think about my mama dying and my cousin dying or me being touched as a kid or, man. That's why I preach that not just black people, but everybody needs to see a therapist at some point in their life. I ain't seen one. I'm a hypocrite, but man, I think everybody needs to see some type of social worker. You know what I'm saying? Some type of therapist that y'all can have someone to vent to, because man, this shit's not good at all.
Oh, there's more poop right here. So that's poop number 2, and that was only a half a block away from poop number 1.
But you're gonna see a lot more of that. That's okay, that can be addressed easily. That's nothing. Compared to other problems, that ain't shit, right? That's shit, but you understand what I'm saying?
When did fentanyl hit the city?
During the fucking pandemic.
What can you tell us about the Tenderloin, man?
Shit, it is what it is, you feel me? Come here to get our money, eat, you feel me?
What advice do you have to someone battling addiction?
Shit, just stay strong, stay grounded, and put your trust in God, you feel me?
Are there resources for people out here that are looking to get help?
Yeah, there's resources, you know. You gotta want it though, you gotta want it. If you don't want it, then you ain't gonna get it.
Well, have a good day, okay?
You too, God bless.
Okay, so he was homeless. I thought he was one of the
people that are leaning over, what is that about?
Pretty much people are high on fentanyl all day.
There's something about it that makes your back.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I watch your steps and species and shit around. But when you see that whole look and everything, we pretty much know what's going on, especially when somebody's standing up sleep.
We interrupt this broadcast. That just, it's kind of unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. Y'all don't have one of these in Milwaukee?
We don't have human shit everywhere.
Oh.
We have our issues in Milwaukee, but not human shit.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that either. So, what would we consider this to? Like, would this be like the Skid Row? Kinda? Because that's how it is in LA, right? Like the Skid Row. But there ain't shit everywhere, is there? I've never been to Skid Row. I've never been on the West Coast, so.
This is some resource shit that we might want to get on there, bro.
Next, we talked to a guy from St. Anthony's. St. Anthony's is a nonprofit that hires a lot of ex-cons to do social work in the area. And I think this is a great idea because if you want someone to navigate the streets properly, you should probably find guys that know the streets and have been in the streets themselves.
So tell me what you do here and where we are.
I'm Jones in Golden Gate, and I work right here at St. Anthony's. I work with the homeless. We give them showers, we wash their clothes, we give them food, and we help
That's
them
fire, though.
get off the streets.
Sounds like you got your work cut out for you. There's a lot of people here that need help. What is it like, and what do you see day to day?
Day to day, I see people overdosing, we bringing them back. It's crazy.
Have you had to use Narcan on someone?
No.
How do you bring them back if they're overdosing?
Put the Narcan up their nose, and then you hit it with the pump 2 times and then it brings them back.
I guess, where do you see this going? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse?
It's getting a little better out here. It's getting a little better.
It'd be people that's relatively been in the
This is
streets,
better?
relatively may have been in
Hell,
jail,
boy,
relatively used to use drugs. You feel me? That get these jobs. And it's a help. It's a help for our streets. So you feel me?
I'm sorry, again, I'm sick.
In your opinion, what makes or breaks someone's success in becoming sober or getting off the streets?
Should put the effort to it and giving them help.
With a lot of these folks that you're working with, do you think childhood trauma or mental illness is a big part of their journey? What is it that's tearing up the city right now? Is it more than fentanyl, or is it primarily fentanyl?
Ooh, I'm gonna say fentanyl. Killing people. All my friends, relatives, they all dying off of it. Dying, left to right.
So if you had a message,
So you ain't got to be like a hype to even die of fentanyl. That's the craziest part. Like, someone can sprinkle fentanyl in your blood. Someone can, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy how quick that shit kill you too.
What would it be?
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone?
Leave it alone.
Oh, we.
Current day, that fentanyl is just huge in the city. When did it start hitting the city, and when did you first hear about it?
I guess maybe 3 years ago, and I don't use fentanyl anymore. I used it for a short period, and then I got injured. I went to the hospital. They put me on methadone, and that's the end of the story with fentanyl use.
What's your drug of choice now that you're trying to escape?
I guess meth.
Meth? Okay. And for someone that lives around this area, how easy is that to find and buy?
It's on every corner.
Every corner? I would imagine in your shoes that makes it very hard to get away from it.
You can, yeah.
Is there anything the city could be doing better to help someone in your shoes?
Gotta educate people.
What's the first hit of meth? Was it love at first sight?
It might have been, yeah, but that's because you're trying to fill a hole. You're trying to fill some kind of an emptiness.
What's your plan forward, or what's your next move?
Well, my goal right now is to get housing, legal housing, not a squat or.
If there's youth watching this, they are wondering if they should experiment with drugs.
To young people, you're not missing anything. You don't need to do drugs to feel like you're gonna be a part of something. It's not necessary. Have a good life, drug-free, and stay healthy.
What do we got here?
#1 team there is, Warriors.
So, what percentage of people out here using booze?
That's wild. I was thinking for the Warriors is there. That's like they making at least $1 billion off the Warriors, probably a year. And y'all got this bad of homeless. Imagine if they put $50 million onto this Tenderloin. I don't know if it's a street or area, bro. You know how much it would clean up? $50 million. Build a couple apartment buildings, help these people get off these drugs, but they don't think about shit or do shit like this. They rather, I don't know, that shit is just different to me.
To supplement their youth.
We need Mr. Beast to do a video about it. I guarantee he'll make some shit better. Like, it's crazy. Like, your own country don't give a fuck about you. I know, like, it ain't they job to do it, but man, you can watch these people just die every day. I don't know.
So, first and foremost, you have to have mothers from all around the world sit down and have a real debate. Because in 100 years, the human race is going to be doing cocaine. Have you ever done cocaine?
Not yet.
Now, when you look at your trash cans and now you see excess of trash, well, how do you stop inflation? When you start talking to your neighbor and realistic that in 100 years, human race will be doing cocaine, will be doing opium, will be doing fentanyl. Then that person is going to boost. So the more you boost, the more you hurt your neighbor. So now you don't know your neighbor that well. So now there's conflict because no, I don't want my niece growing up and using drugs.
So we come full circle, or if you talk to your neighbor more,
then you zone better. Because now it's not decriminalizing it, it's legalizing it. Why? Because we're letting the underworld win at night. When you're honest with yourself and say, you know what? My mother says, you know what? I'm talking with the other mother from another continent. My son does that too. But now when you accept it, and instead of denying that person, now you zone better. So now at 3 o'clock in the morning,
I think you speak in a smart and poetic way, but we do have an appointment we have to walk to. So I wish you the best. All right, man, take care.
You keep it illegal.
I hear you.
When you see cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, New
I was trying to peep what he was talking about. I wasn't even following that close. I was confused.
for bad progressive politics. policies. And while I do agree some of those progressive policies are counterproductive, I do think it's important to highlight that in rural areas across the country, you look at Kentucky, Mississippi, West Virginia, these are Republican-dominated places, and they have a lot of the same problems that the progressive cities do too, just in rural pockets. High rates of drug addiction, high rates of welfare, high rates of unemployment. So if we are going to advance as a country, I think we need to compare notes and work together as a team to say what solutions are truly going to benefit each area,
Right,
and what can make a city a good, safe, and employable place to live no matter where it is in the country.
And right behind us, someone is lighting a pipe or something. It's just so open and blatant here.
I was out here on the streets from here, San Jose to Stockton, and I used to be one of these guys out here selling drugs, doing drugs.
I remember that video.
Lifestyle for almost 20 years. I went in and out of prison for 5 times. I couldn't stay out of the street for more than 90 days. I would get out of prison within 2-3 months, right back in, 5 times.
Is there a story from that time period that can give us an insight into what your life was like?
I grew up around drugs and gangs all my life. So when I was a little kid, I already knew I was going to end up in prison. For me, I was able to get out of it through a lot of pain, and I finally made a choice in prison to finally get out of it. Now I'm out almost 5 years clean.
Congratulations, brother.
That's hard though. That's fire.
How you doing? Welcome to San Francisco, brother.
Thank you.
Our area right here in Soma and the Tenderloin really has not changed too much at all. As you can see, we have a lot of children in this area that got to walk through this. This area of San Francisco with these buildings and complexes actually have the highest concentration of children in all of San Francisco. So it's just really frustrating to see that our area is being affected by the drugs and the homelessness the most. A lot of the businesses out here have been shut down. Everything in this radius, honestly, has been shut down. You see a lot of these black bags that these individuals are carrying around. Those black undiscreet bags come from this place called the Harm Reduction, the Needle Exchange down on 6th Street. I'll show you guys. They give out a lot of utensils and paraphernalia to drug addicts that are struggling. It doesn't really help them. It's actually enabling them and keeping them in
That's
this
what I was kind of
cycle
thinking.
Using.
Let's talk about the business of harm reduction. In 2023, over 800 people died from overdose in San Francisco, 80% of which involve fentanyl. One of the ways that people try and reduce this is harm reduction. Harm reduction is the providing of paraphernalia such as pipes, needles, and foil to addicts for the safer consumption of the drugs. Many people argue that while you are working on the larger issue of getting people out of addiction, you might as well work in the meantime on the task of giving them clean tools to prevent long-term negative effects such as HIV, hepatitis, and other diseases from being spread. Millions of dollars flow into San Francisco every year to help towards harm reduction. This spending allows the distribution of over 240,000 needles every month to drug addicts in San Francisco, or about 1 needle for every 3 residents in the city. The position of harm reduction is a controversial one. San Francisco Mayor London Breed was a longtime supporter of harm reduction, helping to launch the Safe Injection Task Force program in 2017. However, in February of this year, she reversed her position, saying that harm reduction was not reducing the harm, it was actually just making things far worse. Experts criticized this statement, saying that this was just a political move for the upcoming election, not a statement based in facts. But needless to say, drug addiction and homelessness are at the top of mind for San Francisco people as they head to the polls.
Out here, we get
Yeah, that's wild. Could you imagine giving someone a needle and say, don't do drugs, but here's a needle if you are gonna do them. But all right, I ain't doing drugs as I'm injecting the fuck out myself.
What I've seen is a lot more younger, able-bodied individuals that are down here on the streets. I mean, these individuals could be working, they could be doing something, but they are being pacified by the government with $800 a month from general assistance, the ability to steal
They get
anything
paid
they
to be
want
on drugs?
from the stores with no repercussions, and to open their drug market, which makes it ridiculous. You know, I was a criminal. I sold drugs, I used drugs. I'm what the courts call a career criminal. I've changed my life around, but I have been caught several times for selling cocaine and gun possession and different things of that nature. With no consequences, there's no incentive to get right and change your life. It's a beautiful thing when you can change your life around until you really get sober. And now, I don't believe, don't get me wrong, I don't believe in mass incarceration. I don't think people should have to go to prison to get clean off drugs.
Right.
However, a 90-day detox is not too much to ask. If you're trying to get sober yourself, do not come to San Francisco. Listen to me, do not come to San Francisco if you're trying to get sober. These programs are riddled with too many obstacles for you. it's going to be really a struggle to stay clean. When the federal judge told me I shouldn't come back to San Francisco, when my federal PO told me I shouldn't come back to San Francisco, when the drug counselors told me I shouldn't come back to San Francisco, I didn't really understand why they were saying that, but now I do see why. You got to have a lot of tenacity to hold on to your sobriety in this area.
Hey, fellas, is there a harm reduction site up here?
They give the needles and the tinfoil right on 6th Street, right?
I never been to that one.
Oh, okay, where do you go?
I go to 10th Street, but they give you like needles.
But like that tin foil?
Foil, pipes, needles.
I guess the argument is giving them clean pipes and clean needles reduces the spread of diseases.
This comes from the Harm Reduction Center. This type of stuff is littered all over our city.
What is that?
These are individual cotton balls that they roll up for the addicts so they can draw the drugs up through it and filter it.
And the argument that it stops the spread of disease from dirty needles
That's
and all
interesting.
that's what their justification is?
That is what their justification is. The Harm Reduction Center got started a long time ago. It was called the Needle Exchange. You give one dirty needle and you get one clean needle in exchange. The only thing logical about it is that they're getting funding. So the more stuff that they give away, the more they can ask for in their annual budget, right? Now that they're giving away all these materials, they can boast those numbers and inflate those numbers and say, hey, we gave away, I don't know, 3 million clean needles. But really what you did is you just gave a bunch of box of needles to individuals and then they ended up in the dumpster or wherever.
When people like Richie hear that their tax money is going towards drug addicts receiving free needles and pipes, it's easy to see why they're getting mad. We're living in a time when many Americans feel like they are barely able to make ends meet, but the taxes keep getting higher, and the politicians we have locally and nationally have no accountability with our money. For example, it appears we don't have money to support our troops at home, but we do have money to send overseas to help other countries bomb women and children, to fuel wars we didn't want to be involved in the first place. And these decisions are being made by representatives that oftentimes have a financial interest in the war and are vested in stocks like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. Homelessness, another example. It seems we don't have the money to solve this issue, but we do have the money to house illegal immigrants, give them hotel rooms, phones, groceries, and more. I guess the question that comes to mind is, why does it seem like non-Americans are being prioritized when it comes to spending American tax dollars? But how do we change this? If we don't pay our taxes, we go to jail. But if our politicians that are clearly insider trading and pretending to be public servants, if they can't account for the spending of our money, or if they go massively over budget, it's all good. They get to keep their job and keep their stock portfolio that is outperforming hedge funds. So this is a bit of a rant, but all this to say, even if the nonprofits are having good intentions, we are living in a time when people are particularly sensitive to how their tax money is spent.
But this is it right here, the Harm Reduction Center. You see, it was going to be closed November 14th to 17th. Well, you guys just missed it.
I'm 40 years old from San Francisco, born and raised in 83 and shit.
Struggling right now with addiction or what?
Struggling with a lot of things. I got a lot of shit on my plate. It ain't, you know, we can all handle this together and shit.
So when you go into this harm reduction site, do they give you help or do they just give you needles?
Well, they got a lot of shit here. They got needles.
Let me see those. What are those, the easy touch ones?
They got needles. They got pipes and shit. They got, you know, wipes and shit.
That's wild.
Hardee's Philly cheesesteak favorites.
They're giving people pipes and everything. I mean, I guess I can see it, but that's kind of wild.
San Francisco restaurateur experienced a slew of break-ins and frequent vandalism to his restaurant. Unfortunately, this is something he's come to look at as just a cost of doing business in San Francisco.
Your parents came here from Vietnam. You were born in the Tenderloin, spent the first 8 years there, and then...
No, so I came here when I was 13.
13?
Yeah.
So from 13 and then 8 years on, you lived in the Tenderloin. What was that like?
I thought it was just okay because I didn't know anything better, right? You know, so that's all I know.
You gotta imagine coming from Vietnam. He probably didn't really get to see Vietnam, but they was going through some shit out back then too. So this was probably looking like Disneyland to him.
The Tenderloin. I go after school program up in the Tenderloin at the Clyde Memorial. There's a building on Elder Street. That's where our homeless people are. So you have friends in Tenderloin. You just do a lot of things in Tenderloin, and you feel safe, you feel comfortable, but you go nowhere. So when I could be able to get out, I'm out.
How has you as a business owner been affected by the theft, the vandalism, the drugs in San Francisco?
We get like graffiti all the time when we're building the place, and then we get homeless people, and then we get people breaking in, right?
Someone just broke your window the other day?
When something happens like this, I have no feeling. Like I feel like it's just normal to me right now. It's like somebody just breaking in, and we learn how to not put any money in a cashier, you know, like stuff like that. We just get used to it, like become system.
That's sad you gotta even do that.
But it's happened that you expect it can happen.
Are you frustrated with how people are not held accountable? Because it seems like people can just get away with this and nothing happens to them.
That's what San Francisco is about, right? It's public safety. We don't have the public safety right now, right? I mean, you come in, you do graffiti, they're just hanging out.
This
right?
is graffiti?
Yeah, this is so little. I mean, they would do the whole building, right? There's nothing we can do. We actually record it. We record them breaking in. What we're gonna do? You know, there's nothing we can do. Literally, there's nothing we can do.
Is that frustrating?
Of course it's frustrating, man.
Do you expect more out of your city, out of your politicians, out of your law enforcement?
Oh yeah, of course.
Be someone that builds something, not destroys it. It's very easy to destroy things. You just kick things, you hit it with a hammer. Anyone can do that. A monkey could do that. But not anyone can build something. So be the person that builds
What you
something.
mean by
There's a lot
that?
going on here. I think we gotta have empathy for what individuals are going through, but also you have to make rules of a society that makes sense. And to me, a lot of what's going on in San Francisco just doesn't make sense.
Let's bring back some tough love, man, some abstinence-based treatment, and get people to be held accountable for their actions. That's all we asking.
And if everybody got a little compassion, like you said, empathy in their heart, you know what I mean? You ain't got to know somebody. You see them laying on the ground, might look like they overdosed or something. Give them a shake. I don't know, see if they're awake. If not, call for help. It's just little things, man.
Thank God for Narcan.
That's fire though. At least it looks like people care out there, but it doesn't look like the politicians really give a fuck. Y'all put down in the comments how y'all feel about San Francisco's drug market. If there are other videos y'all want me to react to besides the little 2Z, Lil 2Z, that's the name. I got his video coming. I just gotta take my intro out and then I'll pop it up. Put in the comments. Tell me how y'all felt about this video. I love y'all to death. And live y'all day. Oh my God. I'm tripping. I told y'all I'm sick. Live y'all life to the fullest because you never know when your last day is. I love y'all to death and I'll see y'all on the next video. Alright.